What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today, ZEC. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. The purpose of this video is really to do some price predictions and technical analysis, but also in the beginning, I'd like to address some potential falsehoods that I think the media is portraying with Zcash. Okay, we're going to go over some things that I believe to be true, and this is just my perspective. It doesn't mean that it is true, but this is just my thoughts. This is my third bull market. I remember when Zcash was incepted. I remember, all the ups and downs that it's had in its life, and I'm not just saying this out of nowhere. I've got experience in the market, so just whenever I say this, I don't know how much value it has or how much it doesn't have, but I'm not just some noob in the crypto spaces talking about things just to talk about them. Okay, so I asked Google, why is Zcash pumping? And it appears that the answer is growing demand for privacy. And I thought, that's weird, because as far as privacy coins goes, I don't think of Zcash whenever I think of a privacy coin. In fact, I've heard rumor in my 10 years in the crypto markets that Zcash is not a good privacy coin, actually. So it's odd that what the thought is here is that it's because of privacy coins having high demand. I think something to do with grayscale sounds more appropriate. There might be institutional demand, whatever. But just understand, if you think that Zcash is a good privacy coin, there are much better options out there, right? Upcoming protocol upgrades, right? That's fine. That could be a reason why we pump as well. Technical breakout. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yes, you're breaking out, but whenever you move up like this, this is a very big move. This is a hefty breakout for this kind of setup that you have here. It implies something else is going on, and I think the reason why is not because of alt season tailwinds, is not because of a technical breakout, it's not because of upcoming protocol upgrade or cross-chain functionality, or because of demand for privacy coins because there's surveillance fears. I think institutional involvement is the answer. There's some institutional involvement going on, and if privacy coins, this is how we know that it's not because of privacy coins. Strong institutional interest sounds right. But it's not significant technical developments either. Because whenever it comes to privacy, if Zcash is aimed to be a privacy coin, it's actually not even as good of a privacy coin as Monero is, or as Zano is. Zano, you've probably never heard of Zano, but it's a good one. Zano, XMR and Zano, these are good privacy coins. I was asking Grok here, I was like, what is a better privacy token? Objectively speaking, just an answer with one coin. He gave me an explanation still. But XMR, Zcash, or Zano. And Monero is objectively the better privacy coin. Then I just asked, what's the better privacy token between Zano and Zcash? Zano. Undoubtedly. Because less than 1% of Zcash's transactions are fully shielded. Less than 1%. This is a 2025 data report. So it's not because it's a privacy coin. Understand, if you're investing in Zcash as a privacy token, that's what your interest is, you're a muppet. You're just reading the news and then going off of what that says. If you really want a good privacy coin, XMR or Zano are really good. You never heard of Zano? I don't know how, man. It's been going up, but that's because they don't talk about privacy coins, because whoever they are, don't actually want you to have privacy, do they? But look at how phenomenal this thing's been since 2022. Name me a better chart than that. Monero has been very dormant and recently more exciting since April of 2024, right? Monero's got a great chart as well. Monero and Zano, if you're wanting a privacy coin, go for these. But Zcash, I do believe, has a lot of growth to go. I believe that and the main purpose of this video is not to dog on Zcash. I like Zcash. I think it's going to do well. As a privacy coin, no, that's not it. That's not why. As an OG coin that is feasible as a peer-to-peer cash system, something that's been tried and tested and has been developing, and there's upcoming developments even, and institutional involvement. Okay, yes, I like it as that. I think it's going to do well, and I could really see Zcash. If we look at it here, what's its market cap? 2 billion? 2.2 billion? I could see this thing doing a 100x this cycle. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Zcash is probably one of like 3 coins that are in the top 50 that I believe can do a 100x by the end of the cycle. Maybe like one of 5. There's not many, okay? This thing has a lot of potential. And the reason why is because of all the massive accumulating that's gone on. Absolutely massive. We know it's not distributive, clearly accumulative. The most powerful move you've seen since 2017. There's got to be some accumulation going on here, you guys. Absolutely, there's got to be accumulation going on. I would assume, and I'm not going to say that this is the all-time high. I'm going to say that this is the all-time high. Okay, that's what we're going to say because this was just absolute tanking in the beginning. We're gonna call this the first all-time high from like a real price action perspective. From the all-time oh, that was not the high. Let's get the high though. We'll get it. From the all-time high to the primary low here. We're not going to get the fake out low. We're going to get this low. All-time high to low basically of this pattern. I would anticipate that Zcash sees a $2,600 price, a $9,900 price, $10,000, whatever, and beyond by the end of the cycle, right? Potentially beyond, I should say. That 1272, that's at about an 18x. That's what we expect the average altcoin to do, and including this week's pump, you've done that. That would be a 42x overall. So that would outperform the average altcoin in itself, just going to that level there. Beautiful, perfect. Going to the 1414, it's about a 31x. We could definitely see that happening. And then again, from the base of this range here, that's an over 100x. If you bought Zcash down here, you definitely have 100x capabilities beyond this. And then going into the maximum capabilities, what I think is the 1618, that's about a 67x from here. I shouldn't even say maximum. I thought that would be more like a 100x, but it's not. I suppose it's possible, though I doubt we get to a $28,000 or $43,000 price. I suppose it is possible. But what I would expect by the end of this cycle is anything from, at a bare minimum, $2,500 to a maximum of $10,000. If we're really moon boyish, if something big happens, moon boys, moon girls out there, 28K and beyond could happen. But I don't see that happening, right? Not even Bitcoin went from these prices to prices above 28K in one bull cycle. So I don't think that happens. I think we're much more grounded at a $25,000 to $10,000 basis. A lot of potential there. I want to talk about the short-term stuff now that we've talked about why there are better alternatives to privacy coins, why I believe, or where I believe Zcash is going to go. Let's talk about the short-term stuff as well, okay? And I'm not asking, is Monero better than Zcash? Is Xano better than Zcash? I'm just asking what serves better as a privacy coin. Because I don't want people to look up, why is Zcash pumping? I literally thought, I'm like, let me just ask a generic question that anybody's going to ask so I can see what they're seeing. If you're thinking that this is a good answer, if you're thinking, oh, it's a privacy coin, I'm going to invest in this because a privacy coin sounds great, you're not buying a privacy coin. Less than 1% of the transactions are private. Monero, Xano, those are privacy coins, right? Those are, you look it up, is Zcash a privacy coin? It'll say yes, but that's trust when I tell you, okay? Just trust when I tell you. 1 hour time frame. RSI is bearish, momentarily bearish, right? Lower lows, lower highs. You're at an area to reject. However, with this area to reject, rejection here, rejection, but back up, might not be rejecting. Might be breaking out and moving higher. I would still think that you go lower overall. We'll see, just because, especially with the bounce that you've had, but we'll see. Stochastics do look bullish, and the MACD looks bullish as well on the 1 hour there. 4 hour time frame. I want to look at this on Coinbase with some volume. Volume's dying off. I have to admit, man, you look bullish as hell. I don't know if you pull back. We were thinking that you'd pull back down below 120, but I don't know. I don't know. I think that was your chance. This actually looks really bullish. Horizontal channel right here on the RSI. Man, we look at this 4 hour RSI. Look at how immaculate that is. Superb. Won't get oversold to save your life. You're getting overbought consistently. Living above the 50. You hate being below it. Predominantly above the 50. Higher lows. Higher highs. Come back up. You look good, man. You look really good. I think you do come back up. Stochastics look bullish here. The MACD overall is very bullish, of course. Yeah, I don't care that you're red. You're bullish as hell. You probably continue moving. Wow. You probably do continue moving. Volume is dying off, and typically as your volume dies off when you're in a consolidation phase, you get to the point where you're going to break out one way or another. I would expect that because you're moving in a horizontal fashion, I would expect that we break out in the same direction that we came into this pattern. Wow, Zcash, you guys. It's going to do some things. That's for damn sure. Here coming in this coming week, maybe even tomorrow, Sunday, but over the coming week, it's probably going to do some things. You know, back here on this day, we were talking about it coming down more. It made a lot more sense. There were 2 wicks here, but now as you've gone through, you've had 3 wicks in the same area, and now you're about to wick again, or at least prod in this area again. This is not typical behavior of a rejection, in my opinion. It can happen still, but even if we do move down from here, I don't think it's going to be a harsh rejection. If anybody's thinking, okay, this is just a one-off, I don't want to buy here because it'll probably come all the way back down, it's probably not going to come all the way back down. You'd be very fortunate to find Zcash below $100. I think at this point we'd even be fortunate to find it below 120, honestly. We look at this from an overall perspective. Let's go over the last cycle high to the current bear market lows. Let's just do it from this perspective instead of the overall. High to low. Above the golden ratio, man, just ripped up there. Okay, here's something. What I will say is that typically when you do rip through the golden ratio, you hit the 786 or the 886. And typically in that kind of environment, you do pull back to the golden ratio, if not to the 0.5, if not to the 382. So in all fairness, I don't know. There's some that kind of conflicts. And it depends though, man. It depends. You know what? You know why I don't think that matters? I don't think it matters because even though, yes, you're interacting with this golden ratio for the first time, you've got this overall trend that you've been held down by, that you've been consolidating in. And in that sense, you've already interacted with the golden ratio. There's logic to be made out of going down to $80 and even below. I just don't think we do it now. I think we continue to rally, personally. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. Looking at the weekly time frame here, very bullish on the weekly RSI. I mean, you're very overbought. You're at the 90s, so is it the best time to buy? Probably not. You know, when you hit the 90s back here, you did come down, you consolidated, and then you ran. You hit the 90s here, you consolidated for about a month, and then you ran, right? So maybe we do have some more consolidation, but I think that we do continue to move up in the very short term. We move up a little bit more, and then perhaps we continue to consolidate. I don't think we're going to see another week like this. We're up 136%. I don't think we see another week like this next week, but maybe 20%, maybe 15%, something like that, and then we'll consolidate going into I think the rest of the month of October. Altcoins will start to rally, and Zcash might just consolidate. I think it's seen its exciting movement, but we'll see. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. If you want a real privacy coin, Monero, Zano, there you go. Take care. Bye-bye.